with my mom and my baby sister, and specifically to the island of Fuerteventura. And as someone who loves the sunshine but like gets bored lying on the beach, this was honestly my dream sunny destination. If that sounds like you and you're considering Fuerteventura, or if you're just looking for inspiration for your next holiday, then keep watching for my top 5 must-dos on the island. Now bear in mind, Fuerteventura has plenty more to offer, but this is just the basics, just the absolute must-dos for anyone who's going for the first time. By the way, if this is your first time on this channel, then welcome. I'm Eliska, this is Jack, and we make travel videos and try and encourage you to bring a little bit of adventure into your everyday. So hit that subscribe button and let's get on into the video. For background, Fuerteventura is the second largest of the Canary Islands, which is Spanish, and they're a volcanic archipelago off of the Moroccan coast. So although they feel culturally European, in terms of geography and climate, they feel closer to Northwest Africa. The sun is pretty strong here, although it feels deceptively cool because it's very windy, so make sure you slather on the sun cream. Temperatures in the summer are pretty consistently around 25 degrees, which is perfect if, like me, you are slightly dysfunctional in like properly hot weather. So first things first, obviously you know that Fuerteventura is an island, and it's a small island at that, so you can't actually get very far without hitting a coastline. Of course you can go lie on the beach, but that comes as a surprise to absolutely nobody. But what's really cool about Fuerteventura is that it's insanely windy. This means that it's a prime spot for wind and water sports. In fact, it's home to the Fuerteventura windsurfing and kite surfing world championships, which we actually went to watch, and I would highly recommend that if you're around in June, then you go check them out, because it's pretty amazing what people can do whilst hanging off of a piece of cloth that's flapping around in the wind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 champion of the GKA freestyle here on Fuerteventura is coming from the Czech Republic. Let's welcome Paula Novotná!
But if you want to try your own hand at wind or kite surfing, then this is the spot to do it. There are loads of water sports schools around, and you'll be hard pressed to find more consistently favorable conditions. The wind, of course, also means that there are pretty reliable waves all year round. So if you're a keen surfer or you just fancy trying it out, then this is also the place to do it. There are spots for all levels of surfers, from what I'm told is the longest right-hand barrel in Europe, I think, by Lobos Island, to some pretty mild waves by El Cotillo and some of the other more sheltered beaches. There's definitely no need to feel intimidated by the like big short surfers, because there are plenty of those around. There is something for everyone. I even got my mom to try surfing and she really enjoyed it, so. Next up, hike a volcano. As I said already, the Canary Islands are volcanic, and although there are no active volcanoes on Fuerteventura, there are some pretty impressive looking extinct ones, complete with a crater and everything. The most popular volcano to hike is the Calderón Hondo? I butchered that, didn't I? I think the Spaniards don't pronounce H's, but if you speak Spanish, please let me know how that's pronounced. It has a beautiful crater, and the walk up is really easy. Literally anyone can do it. My 4-year-old sister went all the way up without being carried once. Very proud of her. So if she can do it, then so can you. I also saw at least 3 people do it in their flip-flops, which I would never recommend, but you do you, boo. Once you get to the top of the volcano, you have the option of walking around the crater, which is quite cool. A bit more of a balancing act, and probably not one for the flip-flops. Third tip, hop in some sort of vehicle and go explore the landscape. The landscape is what makes Fuerteventura truly breathtaking. It's pretty barren and rocky, although think more like rock carpet than rocky cliffs, if that makes sense. What are you talking about? None of that makes sense. Where's geologist Jack when you need him? The south of the island is a little bit more mountainous than the north, which is pretty flat, and I cannot recommend enough driving through that mountainous region. It just feels like a completely different planet. And before you knock that, just know that Solo, the last of the Star Wars saga movies, was filmed on Fuerteventura. It actually kind of reminds me of bits of Namibia. If you missed those videos, then I'll link them up here somewhere. But basically it's a very similar like barren landscape with really cool like mountainous formations. The beaches are mostly picture perfect stretches of sand, and on the west coast they're often separated off from the mainland by like a short cliff. So you can basically drive off of the road into any of those coves and you'll find a sandy beach in between. For someone who grew up in a landlocked country, that is just the dream. You can also take a day trip to Lobos Island, which is like a 10-15 minute boat ride from Coralejo. Again, it has a beautiful beach, a little volcanic mound that you can climb, and it's just a little bit more secluded, a little bit of something else to do. Beautiful landscape and really clear waters around it, so you can go snorkeling, diving around there as well. You thought we were done at volcanoes and beaches, but no, there's also the desert. Well, inland sand dunes at the Coralejo Natural Reserve. Anyway, I'd recommend renting a car and doing a proper explore around the island. It's so easy, the roads are good. It's really a waste to just stay in one spot. I think I'd even get a camper van the next time I go, just because some of the more remote places are so breathtaking. So tasting local delicacies is like the main reason I travel. The first thing I do before I travel anywhere is spend like 2 to 3 hours researching what I'm gonna eat there. We ate very well on Fuerteventura. I'm just gonna rattle off a list of foods that you should try, otherwise we're gonna be here forever. Canarian potatoes. Essentially new potatoes cooked in seawater to give them a delicious salty coating. Mojo picon, or just mojo. This is a garlic, cumin, and paprika spice mixture mixed into a sauce. It's often served with bread or Canarian potatoes. We got a box of this stuff from the supermarket and put it on literally everything at home. Majorero cheese, a firm goat's cheese made directly on the island. I believe there's even a whole museum dedicated to the making of this cheese. Goat stew, made with potatoes and such a hearty and homely meal. All seafood. We stayed in what used to be a fishing village. There's still a lot of fishing there, and there's so much fresh fish, so much fresh seafood, and it's all delicious. It doesn't matter how it's made, they really can't go wrong with it. We even got seafood from the supermarket to make in our apartment, and it was just so good. Gofio mousse. Essentially a very sweet mousse made from a base of gofio, which is basically this local flour made of corn and wheat. Not gluten-free. Basically eat everything. Finally, the Canary Islands are basically aloe vera land. There are actually a couple of aloe vera farms on Fuerteventura that you can visit, but if that's not your thing, then definitely at least go into one of the aloe vera shops and try out some of their products. The plant itself is baffling to me. It's basically leaf-coated jelly. And whilst I'm no chemist and definitely don't know anything about herbal medicine, that leaf-coated jelly is some sort of crazy magic. I can highly recommend the 99.9% aloe vera gel for sunburn. Mine's actually 98%. Because if you engage in the above mentioned water sports, then you might be suffering from that. I swear I put on sunscreen, okay? I didn't even peel. At any rate, the products make for a great little gift if you're bringing something for someone back home. We stayed in a dreamy little town called El Cotillo, and I honestly think it's my future home, so I'm going to be dedicating an entire video to it because I'm in love. And I have recommendations, so make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to watch that video. But that is it, guys. That was a whistle-stop tour of the must-dos and must-sees in Fuerteventura. If you have anything to add to these tips, then please leave them in the comments below. I will definitely be going back, so I would love to read them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in our next video. Bye!